Redevelopment Commission meeting order on this Tuesday, April 7th. It is now 4:32. Normally, I guess we would do the Pledge of Allegiance, but if you just want to take a moment of silence, let's just all get our heads down for a minute here. And okay, can we get a roll call on the commissioners?
Here.
Little Presley.
Here.
Kaspricki, yes, here.
Iris.
Here.
Upbridge.
Here. For the record, all 5 are present here on the Zoom app. Okay, number 2 is declaration of conflict of interest. Okay. Number 3 is our minutes dating March 3rd, 2020.
Mr. President, I make a motion to set the Hammond Redevelopment Commission minutes for March 3rd, 2020.
I second that.
Okay, I have a motion and a second dating our minutes for March 3rd, 2020. Is there any additional questions or discussion on these minutes? Okay, roll call then.
Merrick.
Yes.
Little Presley.
Yes.
Ricky.
Yes.
Myrick.
Yes. Iris, yes.
Did you get Hopperidge?
Yes.
Hopperidge is a yes. Did you hear all 5 commissioners say yes?
I did, Tony. I heard them all.
Okay. Okay, then we have 5 yeses. Motion passes. Then, thank you. Next item is these are all the essential matters before the commission, and so number 4, and then it'll be alphabet letters. A is our homebound conditional forgivable loan approval.
Mr. President, I move for the approval of the 5 homebound conditional forgivable loans as shown in today's agenda.
Second.
Second. Oh,
Sorry.
That's okay. We have a motion then, and a second. That is our homebound conditional forgivable loan approval for the 5 applicants. Can we roll call on that, please?
Commissioner Merrick.
Yes.
Commissioner Soto Presley.
yes.
Commissioner Kaspricki.
Yes.
Commissioner Rick.
Yes.
Commissioner Humphrey.
Yes. Motion passes 5 yes. Okay, for B is an approval of agreement between the owner and Dixon for professional services.
Yeah. Can we get a quick overview on the professional services being offered?
Africa, do you want me to do this? Oh, I didn't hear.
Yes.
Okay, so this is the agreement. It's a not to exceed amount of $82,000 with Dixon. They're the engineering firm that put together the specifications for the Columbia Avenue water tank project, which is still moving forward. We obviously, they'd be hired by us and working with the water department to make sure the contractor does what they're supposed to do. And, you know, typical, or I should say analogous to when you guys hire like Erico to your project manager.
Are we close to the end of this project?
We haven't started it.
Started, yeah.
Right.
What may be confusing you, Wally, is we bid it out last year at the end of the year, like in August or September, and we ran into a problem with the timeline with when the weather was going to change.
Okay,
So we had to rebid. What we did is we wound up rebidding it in January. You've had a couple of things come before you, like in February. Probably would have had kind of everything not transpired the way it did in March. You would have had some things, and you probably should have had this in March. But here we are, first meeting in April. So we're moving, and it's a priority project, and it's a critical project for the city.
what's the timeline on it?
So you'll see substantial work on it immediately. Say by mid, you'll see most of it done, and I want to say it's an August 15th completion date, but don't hold me to that. That's my
Or
recollection.
them, I understand.
Yeah.
Else questions?
Nope.
I'm good.
Nope.
Mr. President, for the approval of agreement between Dixon Professional Services and owner?
Second.
Yeah.
Okay, we have a motion. Did we get a second?
Yeah, I second it.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. If there's no further questions or discussion, let's have a roll call.
Yes.
Presley,
Yes.
Ricky,
Yes.
Commissioner Hendricks,
Yes.
Hopper.
Yes. Okay, motion passes with 5 yes. We gotta have safe drinking water, right?
Right.
We are going to move, I guess, letters has been removed. It's gonna be picked up in letter G, kind of the same stuff that was added there, so we get to that. So we're moving to letter N there, so when we get to that. So we're moving to letter D then, is a determination of compliance with redevelopment plan for the Marina redevelopment area for the proposed Dairy Queen at 954 Indianapolis Boulevard.
Members of the commission, you should have Brian Poland, Director of City Planning on the, he will provide insight regarding the determination of compliance.
He's on, but he's muted.
Did I unmute?
Nope.
Yes.
Oh,
There you
yes,
go.
you did.
Okay.
That was on purpose.
Who let the dogs
To get our attention.
I think I unmuted and then I took the tape off my camera.
Yeah, we hear you.
Okay, all right. So as stated, this is for the Dairy Queen at 954 Indianapolis Boulevard. The company called Integrated Construction Solutions is the presenter for is the contingent purchaser for the development. Ultimately, the property will be purchased by Rossman Partners, Hammond LLC, and it will have a franchisees operator of Sunny Sahi and Shamir Manhani. The development is for a 3,285 square foot Dairy Queen building, including a drive-through parking lot and landscaping. We have reviewed their exterior materials for them to be compliant with the PUD regulations. The total investment is $2.7 million with an additional $500,000 for the interior build out. And the completed project is, they're estimating that will be 10 full-time and 14 part-time employees. In the report that you should have in your packet, I go through the analysis of the plan for the redevelopment area and calling out what the applicable provisions are. We worked with them most recently in getting some of the site plan issues resolved. Typically there's always, little details that will make sure that will be in place as we go forward with the Plan Commission meeting, assuming you go forward at this step. Recommendation is that the Redevelopment Commission make a determination that the proposed Dairy Queen project is in compliance with the 2013 amendment to the redevelopment plan for the Marina Redevelopment District, subject to the final approval of the site plan, engineering, and technical review by applicable city departments, and approval of the final development plan by the Plan Commission.
Yeah, you can't have too many Dairy Queens. I love Dairy Queen.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to be the guy denied Dairy Queen. Absolutely.
All right, well, if nobody else has any questions or comments, Mr. President, I make a motion to approve the recommendation that the proposed Dairy Queen follows provisions of the 2013 amendment to the redevelopment plan for the Marina Development Area and the project developer's requirement, subject to final approval of the site plan, engineering, technical review by the applicable city departments, and approval of the final development plan by the Plan Commission.
I second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. If there's no further questions, Mr. Poland, thank you, Brian, for your overview of the project.
Okay, you're welcome.
Let's have a roll call then.
Commissioner Merrick,
Yes.
Bill Presley,
Yes.
Ricky,
Yes.
Commissioner Myrick,
Yes.
Commissioner Hopbridge.
Yes. Motion passes 5 yes. Okay, item E, approval of interlocal governmental agreement between the Hammond Sanitary District and the City of Hammond by and through its Redevelopment Commission.
Members of the commission, if you look in your packet, you will find an agreement, an interlocal government agreement between the Hammond Sanitary District and the City of Hammond by and through its Redevelopment Commission. The purpose of this agreement is so that the Hammond Sanitary Commission can transfer approximately 1.22 acres to the Hammond Redevelopment Commission. This is necessary because an adjacent business is interested in expanding, and they're interested in acquiring this property. And as many of you know, the Hammond Sanitary District cannot sell property, so they are going to transfer the property to the Redevelopment Commission. And the second item after this will be the authorization to advertise the sale of the property located at 5047 Avenue.
Can you repeat that, please? 5047.
Columbia Avenue.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
So I just want to point out, this property sits between the sanitary district on Columbia Avenue and Hammond Machine Works. There was originally some plan for it by the sanitary district, and they were able to acquire it for very little, actually. It was part of, they were thinking they were going to use it for trails, and then it turned out that the property was not going to be used for trails, and the sanitary district acquired it. Sometime thereafter, they were approached by Hammond Machine about potentially purchasing it, but as Africa said, they can't sell it. So we met with the sanitary district. They're agreeing to transfer it to us. We'll put it out for RFP. We'll give Hammond Machine, as well as anybody else who wants to purchase this 1 point whatever acre parcel, a chance to bid on it. And assuming, I think probably the most viable user is going to be Hammond Machine. At some point, we'd have a purchase agreement for whoever the successful bidder is. But this is step number.
Does that trump the bike path people?
The bike path is going, according to our city engineer, that area was not suitable for it, and they've moved it to a different location. If you ask me what location, I'm not 100% sure.
Okay.
But it would not be used in any event for what it was originally intended.
Are these items to be looked at one at a time, or are we doing them both?
I would like, if you could do two different motions, one to approve the interlocal and then the second one to authorize the sale or to advertise for sale.
Yes,
So
I,
moved.
Which one?
The first, the approval of the interlocal agreement.
Second.
all right, we'll do one at a time. I
Yeah.
think that's what Attorney Weston was meaning. So, okay, the first one, then we have a motion and a second. That's the approval of the interlocal governmental agreement between the Hammond Sanitary District and the City of Hammond by and through its redevelopment commission. Can we get a roll call on that?
Commissioner Merrick,
Yes.
Little Presley,
Yes.
Commissioner Kesbicki,
Yes.
Commissioner Myrick,
Yes.
Hopbridge.
Yes. Motion passes with 5 yes. Okay, then letter F. Explain that. It's an authorization to advertise for the sale property located at 5047 Columbia Avenue.
So moved.
Second?
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Can we get a roll call then?
Commissioner
Yes.
Soto Presley,
Yes.
Commissioner Kesbicki,
Yes.
Commissioner Myrick,
Yes.
Hopbridge.
Yes, motion passes 5 yes. All right, moving along. That brings us to letter G, an approval of resolution number 03-2020, resolution of Hammond Redevelopment Commission concerning the 2021 budget year determination for tax increment for Hammond Redevelopment Commission allocation areas.
Members of the commission, if you look in your package, you will find the resolution for Hammond Redevelopment Commission concerning the 2021 budget year. I have Carl Sender from Sender and Company to discuss this resolution as well as the next agenda item, which would be the approval of the annual report.
Good afternoon, members of the commission.
Good afternoon.
This resolution is one that we have to do every year. We have to notify the county auditor as well as affected taxing units whether we have any excess incremental assessed value in each of our allocation areas, the TIF areas, that we could release. And because of your projects that are going on in each of these areas, as well as we have debt service obligations on bonds that we're paying on, we've determined that you have no surplus or excess increment that can be released. So by approving this resolution, you're just declaring that fact. And then there'll be letters that the commission president will sign that will be sent to the county auditor along with this resolution. And that has to be done before June. So that's the first item for your consideration. Happy to answer any questions.
No, I think that's,
No question here.
No.
all right, then, someone like to entertain a motion for letter G, and then we'll do letter H.
Mr. President, I move for the approval of resolution number 002-2020.
That's all three.
Oh, three.
I'm sorry,
2020.
03-2020.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. That's for the approval of resolution number 03-2020. Can we get a roll call on that?
Commissioner Merrick,
Yes.
Little Presley,
Yes.
Commissioner Kesbicki,
Yes.
Commissioner Myrick,
Yes.
I didn't hear my name, but I'm usually after him, so it's yes. Did you copy? Then we have 5 yes.
Yes, Cynthia?
Yes.
All right, so then we have, motion will pass with 5 yeses. That's for, letter G. Are you copying?
I am. I
Okay,
am.
all right.
I hear you loud and clear here.
All right, there was just a little background scratchy there. All right, then letter H is approval of annual report of Hammond Redevelopment Commission for the year ending December 1st, 2019.
Members of the commission, Indiana Code 36-7-14-13 requires that an annual report be presented to the Redevelopment Commission, and then following your consideration, it will be submitted to the mayor as well as to the Common Council for, again, just for their information. They don't have to act on it. But this report just basically summarizes your activities for the year, who the commission members were, what some of your activities were, the meetings that you had. It also has a brief snapshot of your finances, what was the tax increment for each of the allocation areas that were collected, what's the outstanding debt for each of the allocation areas by particular bond issue, and then a quick summary of your fund balances for each of the different allocation areas. And then at the very end of the report is a listing of all the parcels for each of the allocation areas. A snapshot of this report, including the parcels, then get uploaded to the Department of Local Government Finance's gateway to their website, so that if the public wants to see what parcels are in which allocation area, they would have access to this information. So again, this is just for your approval of this report. Following your approval, then it will be forwarded on to the mayor and to the Common Council members.
Mr. President, I make a motion for approval of the annual report of the Hammond Redevelopment Commission for the year ended December 31st, 2019.
Second,
Okay, we have a motion and a second for the approval of the annual report of the Hammond Redevelopment Commission for the year ending December 31st for 2019. Can we get a roll call then?
Commissioner Merrick,
yes.
Commissioner Presley,
Yes.
Keswick,
Yes.
Commissioner Myrick,
Yes.
Commissioner Hopper.
Yes, motion passes with 5 yes. Okay, letter I is an approval of community development block grant agreement with Meals on Wheels of Northwest Indiana.
Members of the commission, in your package, you will have approval or an agreement with for the community development block grant agreement with Meals on Wheels of Northwest Indiana. Meals on Wheels is an organization, as many of you are aware of, that delivers food to our elderly population. They deliver to 120 residents within the city of Hammond. During COVID-19, they experienced some issues, whereas a lot of their drivers are elderly, are of the senior population, and because of the pandemic, many of them are staying at home, so they've lost a lot of their drivers. And because we recognize this is a very important service within the city of Hammond, we wanted to keep this going. So the Community Development Department has worked very closely with Meals on Wheels to come up with, to establish an agreement for $15,000. The agreement is from April 7th, 2020 through June 8th, 2020, subject to possibly being amended if we see that it has to be amended. It also, it will continue, they will be able to continue to service the residents that they're servicing currently within the city of Hammond, but also it provides funding for some additional drivers, because we recognize that some of the drivers were not going, they lost drivers due to COVID-19. So this is just a really goodwill endeavor that we're doing. We have enough funding in CDBG that we're able to provide this service.
Absolutely.
Mr.
I think it
President,
is.
I move for the approval of community development block grant agreement with Meals on Wheels of Northwest Indiana.
I second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. That's for the approval of community development block grant agreement with Meals on Wheels of Northwest Indiana. Can we get a roll call, please?
Commissioner Merrick,
Yes.
Commissioner Soto Presley,
Yes.
Commissioner Casperky,
Yes.
Commissioner Myrick,
Yes.
Hopperidge.
Yes, motion passes 5 yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Okay. Letter J is an approval of temporary workspace agreement. I think we have Mr. Pullen. Is he speaking on this one too?
Yes.
Yeah, sorry, I had it on mute. Commissioners, in your packet, you were provided a temporary workspace agreement document. This is regarding a project that is being conducted by the Natural Gas Pipeline Company of America. They are involved with a project that is constructing a transcontinental natural gas pipeline coming from Illinois that will connect to NIPSCO's regulator station that is on the south side of 136th Street, also known as Boy Scout Road. NIPSCO constructed that regulator station about 2 years ago. So this would be completing that whole connection. The Redevelopment Commission owns property that is in the area. The parcel that Redevelopment owns is a larger parcel, but this only affects a small corner of it that is literally right at the state line and 136th Street on the kind of the north side of 136th Street. It's a triangular kind of shaped little property. This agreement is specific to allow them to temporarily use it during the construction process. That way they could stage all their construction of the development. A second part of the project, and we don't have all the documents yet, is that the natural gas line will cross over the same parcel, and they will need a permanent easement in order to make that connection. We have not been provided that document yet, and then we'll come back with you for approval of the permanent easement. The timeframes that are in the document that you have before you are highlighted in red. The actual details of the timing of this project is in flux at the moment. I think that's, we understand the circumstances, why things are in flux at the moment. Prior to asking you to sign anything, we'll have all those dates confirmed with the company.
Certainly, no questions on a temporary agreement by me.
Mm-mm.
Mr. President, I move for the approval of temporary work agreement as shown in item J on today's agenda.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. That's for the approval of temporary workspace agreement. Can we get a roll call on it?
Yes.
Commissioner Spiley,
Yes.
Commissioner Casperky,
Yes.
Commissioner Myrick,
Yes.
Commissioner Hopperidge.
Yes, motion passes 5 yes. Once again, thank you, Mr. Poland, and just when you get the other dates and that for us to sign, let us know. All right, that brings us to letter K, our bills, register of claims.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to pay the Register of Claims for March 18th, 2020 through April 3rd, 2020. Register of Claims R58554 through R58599.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. That's for our register of claims dating March 18th, 2020 through April 3rd, 2020. That's claims R58554 through claim R58599. Is there any questions on these claims for staff? Okay, very good. Then let's have a roll call.
Eric,
Yes.
Commissioner Soto Presley,
Yes.
Commissioner Kesperky,
Yes.
Commissioner Myricks,
Yes.
Commissioner Hopper.
Yes, motion passes with 5 yes. All right. I guess before we adjourn, I don't know, Attorney Westland, do you have anything to comment? It sounds like we probably could be doing this, for our next meeting as well.
You're muted.
Yeah, I see that.
Okay.
I think you can count on doing this for your next meeting in 2 weeks. The question really, I think, is, how far into May, is it going to be one meeting in May like this or 2 meetings? I mean, I think you're looking at a while.
Okay, well, yeah, we'll just, I guess we'll just cross that bridge when it comes, but I agree with you. I think definitely the next meeting we'll be doing this. So I appreciate you guys coaching us all along through the process with this. It seemed like it went well today. And just want to thank everybody there. Be safe and God bless all of you. And I appreciate our Mayor McDermott leading us, through this, terrible crisis. And all we can do is work together here and stay safe. And
Stay in.
that's all I have.
Okay. Mr. President, I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Can you all signify by
Aye.
aye? Ayes have it. Meeting is adjourned.
All right, be safe, everybody.
Thank you. Be safe.
All right, good
Bye.
night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night, all.